Thank you to me for requesting this episode. Welcome to Content Critic, the show that gets facts wrong about your favorite content. I'm Jan, and in this episode, I'll be looking at a language with one syllable, ka. I'm gonna be completely honest with you, I'm a little biased in favor of this one. It's no secret that ka is the only language I personally use. I first said that in episode 1 of this series. I've started every episode so far introducing how I will talk about a ka, and on my Discord server, Work in Progress, I take every opportunity to tell people that ka isn't worth learning, even though I did anyway. That's probably why so many of you wanted to know my opinions. There were actually more people who wanted this episode than there were people who wanted any other episode so far. What exactly is it about ka that makes me like it so much? Ka is an engineered language that was created in 2022 by me. Almost everything about it was designed around the concept of minimalism, from its 2 phonemes to its extremely high number of words. This makes it unreasonably difficult to understand, but it's easy to pronounce, I guess. Personally, it took me like a minute to learn how to pronounce words, and only a couple months later, I was confident enough in my abilities to try saying my first sentence. Pronounceability is something that conlangs designed to be used internationally tend to struggle with. The thing is, ka isn't even primarily designed as a good international language, and it isn't. For that reason, I'll be reviewing ka as an artlang, not as an interlang. Its consonant is ka. Is that it, you say? Where's the voice plosives? Where's the fricatives? Where's the rontics? Believe it or not, this is all of ka's consonants. All of them are clearly distinct from one another and are extremely common cross-linguistically. The overwhelming majority of natural languages have every single one of these sounds. Ka's vowel is ah. Ah yes, the one vowel system. Now, I've said before that I prefer the 0 vowel system, but the one vowel system works fine here. After all, languages that have less than one vowel tend to have other features that ka doesn't have, like length, diphthongs, and or an absurd number of consonants. Plus, in addition to there being a small number of phonemes, there's also a small number of total syllables, which are shown here. This is a syllable structure called CV, or consonant vowel. It's in some major languages like Hawaiian and Mbanga. On top of that, you can't have consecutive vowels or consecutive nasals. All this together means that ka's phonology maximizes pronounceability for everyone, regardless of their first language. As far as I can tell, there isn't a single natural language with monolingual speakers that has fewer syllables than ka. The orthography just is the IPA, except that the velar plosive is written with a capital C and all vowels are written as O, so the name of the language is spelled like this and pronounced like this. Well, technically I pronounce it more like this, but as was mentioned before, ka's phonology is so small it doesn't even matter how you pronounce anything. Anyway, due to its minimal phonology, ka can be written with literally any writing system, though some adaptation may be needed for writing with abjads. Still, it can be easily written with Cyrillic, the Greek alphabet, Hiragana, Devanagari, Hangul, Canadian Aboriginal syllabics, Cherokee, you name it. There have been no original writing systems for ka made by the ka community yet. Ka's grammar appears to just be English at first glance, and that's because it is. To say bugs taste better than fruit, you say ka 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 ka. You might think that this is really inconvenient, and you'd be right, but this sort of structure helps minimize the amount of grammar you need to learn if you already know English. As it stands, ka can be described in full, not including all the vocabulary, on a single sheet of paper, as long as you just write the grammar as same as English. The vocabulary is the main thing I usually bring up to people when I talk about ka. Ka is between 40 and infinite words, depending on who you ask. This means you could easily memorize the basics in 1 year, and if you try hard enough, you could memorize the entire thing over a single weekend. And unlike other languages with absurdly large vocabularies we haven't seen on the show, the choices of words in ka actually make sense. Some of the basic words are shown in tables, labeled in hex for no other reason than to make it more annoying to read. I personally can't imagine having to talk without these words, and I don't want to. The only problem I have with the vocabulary is the number system, but that can be justified by saying numbers aren't important. The idea of a distinction being unimportant is the source of pretty much all of ka's apparent lexical gaps. Good and complex are the same word, because why are you speaking ka if you don't think complexity is good? Give and receive are the same word, because how are you able to give something without another person receiving something at the same time? Since this is the first episode of Ka Critic, ka is the only language I've reviewed so far. With that in mind, ka is the current best ka I've reviewed so far, but to some extent it's also the worst. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time, if ever.